We'd like to note before the start of this interview that the opinions about to be expressed by the guest on tonight's Gettin Salty Experience podcast are that of the guest and do not directly or necessarily reflect the views of the host of the Gettin Salty Experience podcast.
You're listening to the Gettin Salty Experience podcast.
Man, I got to get myself one of them fucking.
Well, don't lower it. Lower it. Bring it a little closer. This is how we're starting the show.
This is how we do it when the Friday's on the show.
Just a passing breeze, filled with memory of the gold star.
That's slow.
Introduce me to
Hit it, boys.
Danny, you got the bass?
of wine and roses
Jump the bass.
Gotta do the hand up, down. One. Oh.
days.
Let's slide in.
Yeah, little Frank to start the show.
I love
There
it.
we
I
go.
love it.
I love it.
I was
Nice.
torturing him in the beginning of the show. I said, I got to start out with little Frankie.
Hell
Hello
yeah.
from the UK, Norfolk and Good 66 from the UK.
Welcome
Yeah, tonight. Welcome. Yes.
to the Gettin Salty Experience podcast. It's the only one.
The only one. Well,
Maybe
well.
two that
Shit.
bring the kitchen table to you with my man Kenny D.
Hey.
And Gonzo.
Yeah. Yes. How's everybody doing tonight?
All right, all right.
All right, Gons.
I'm hurting.
I
Okay.
said, why?
You're hurting.
Oh, God. I've been laying tile for the last 2 days, bro.
Oh, come on.
Fucking tile sucks.
Come on, you're a Ginzo.
Yeah. But shit,
It's like
man.
1, 2, 3.
The knees are, not what they used to be.
You got to be going on a cruise. Like you could probably get your knees massaged. I would imagine.
Well, yeah, they have that on it, but I don't know if they do
the pineapple
knees.
room. Mhm.
Well,
Speaking of cruises, we are going on a cruise, aren't we?
We are
Yeah.
August 1st. Gons, when are you
Man.
coming up?
the 31st. I'll be up Friday afternoon.
Nice.
That's
Friday
going to be.
afternoon.
I think it's sold out.
Yeah. How's parking around there? How's that work? Like, is there a lot that you can park in or around?
If you want to, are you coming with your wife?
Yeah, I'm taking my wife. Yeah, me
All
and my
right.
wife.
I was
yeah.
going to say you could jump in with me because I got a couple of people coming. But yeah, it's right across the street from the West Side Highway. There's a couple of streets there. Right there,
Yeah.
you can park most of the time because it's the weekend, so it's usually open.
All right. All right, cool. Very good.
Yeah.
All right, Gons. Let me see my new item.
We got a prototype out there that Lou just had made for you guys can see it.
Wow.
You see it's legit. Got the big F on there for the federal Q.
Nice.
Is that too loud?
No, it's great.
Fucking
Coming in hot, baby. Coming in shit hot. These damn things, bro.
You got 3-2 rescuing squad. Sounds like a jab.
Sounds like it's loud. Wait.
That sounds like the 12 o'clock buff. We
We got 3-2 and a rescue, multiple phone calls. Sounds like a job.
Dude, Coobs is going to lose his mind when he realizes that's out there, and he did not come up with that idea.
Did that come across? Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh,
heard it.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great.
I just wanted to make sure that my sound effects were working this time because last time I wasn't so lucky. Excuse
It's
me.
a great prototype.
Yeah, this thing's a prototype. It just lose new company. What's it going to say? Lose sirens.
It's gonna outsell. It's gonna outsell the pizza cutter.
Getting hungry.
Getting. Oh,
I almost
God.
fell off the chair when he mentioned that. Oh my God.
Getting hungry. Oh God, excuse me. Clear.
All right, let's
So anyway, you want to run the
get
commercials
our,
and
get our commercials in, and then we'll get Serge in here.
All right, let's do this. We're going to hear from our boys over at Elmont Tough, Mr. Vince.
When it comes to firehouses, the floors take a beating. Boots, waters, tools, apparatus traffic, it just never stops. That's why departments like the Gloucester City, New Jersey Fire Department and so many others trust Armor Tough flooring and tile. From the hallways to the training rooms to the apparatus bays, Armor Tough delivers a clean, professional finish built to handle the daily grind of the job. Durable, seamless, and designed specifically for high-demand public safety environments, this isn't just flooring, it's infrastructure you can count on. And it doesn't stop at the floor. Take a look at the Grove's gear racks, built with integrated security features to protect turnout gear, personal equipment, and department assets. Secure storage, smart design, and built to last. Because your gear deserves the same protection you provide to your community. If your department is ready to upgrade its space from the bay floor to the gear room, reach out to Armor Tough Flooring and Tile. Built for the fire service. Built to last.
Yeah, all right. Let's roll it right into the next one, too.
Coos will turn that into a potato peeler in no time.
I wasn't reading that.
Rob said it'll definitely outsell the nail clipper.
I can't. God help me.
God, these guys are crazy. All right, let's listen to Identifier. Here we go.
When you're on scene, seconds matter, visibility matters, and your gear, it better perform. No excuses. At Identifier, we get it because this isn't just business, it's the job. We provide high-quality helmet identifiers, accountability tags, and custom safety solutions built for the fireground, not the showroom. Our products are designed to take heat, hold up under pressure, and make sure your crew is seen, identified, and accounted for fast. Whether it's a working fire at 2 a.m. or a routine call, clear identification can make the difference between chaos and control. Gear up with professionals who understand the job. Be seen, on scene, at identifiersafety.com. Use code SALTY to save 10% on your next order.
Use Salty and save 10%.
Use
salty.
Use guys, use salty.
All right.
Hey.
We got one more guy to go here. Mr. Dragonetti. Let's hear about some elevator stuff that this guy does. Here we go.
When an elevator emergency happens, being prepared matters, and the people trapped inside are counting on you. At Dragon Rescue Management, we specialize in elevator emergency management training, built for fire departments, first responders, and safety teams who refuse to leave preparedness to chance. Our elevator industry experienced and seasoned fire service instructors bring decades of real-world elevator rescue knowledge, teaching cutting-edge proven rescue procedures and passenger release techniques that put safety first every time. And we don't just teach it, we equip you for it with professional patented-grade elevator rescue kits, polling tools, and unexpected movement kits designed for performance under pressure. DRM also provides custom elevator door training aids that allows you to practice the skill set from our training in the comfort and safety of your firehouse. Don't wait for the next stalled occupied elevator call to test your crew. Get trained, get equipped, and be ready. Set yourself up today at dragonrescue.com because readiness isn't optional.
Isn't not optional.
Sounds like an intro to a Metallica song.
Yeah, right. It's kind of like headbanging.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
What's going on, guys? How's
So what's
things?
the word?
Face hurts.
Does it hurt?
Well, it's killing me, bro.
All right, we ready?
It's a nice
Yeah.
hat. So you
do
get
it.
a free bowl of soup with that
You
hat?
get a free bowl of soup with that hat.
Got a duck on your
Ready,
hat?
guns?
It looks good on you, though. Okay, yes, sir. I'm ready. LT, I hope you're
Coming
ready.
to the stage, FDNY Lieutenant Serge Burack.
There he is. Welcome, sir.
Look at me
He's
sweating
sweating
over there,
already.
sweating
Sweating already, man.
I got to take some time from that opening. Jesus.
All right, before we get started, we're going to run the flag. We're going to run the
A little
pledge.
patriotic. Here we go.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Because I'm wearing a hat, I give you a little
Nice.
little so I don't have to
All right,
stand
all
up.
right.
Serge.
Serge, thank you so much.
There's-
We finally got you.
My name is-
Yeah. No,
Fine.
everyone's on vacation.
You were the 12th on the call list.
Yeah. All right,
Don't
so
worry, I'm second fiddle too. Don't worry.
as Coop says, we're going to go in the way back. Give us where you grew up, how you got involved in the fire department, mom, dad, brothers, sisters.
Yeah. So grew up in Elmont, Long Island. My grandfather immigrated from Russia and bought the house in 1939 in Elmont, which happened to be right around the corner of a future firehouse, right around the corner there. So grew up there. I guess 1952, the firehouse was built there. And but moving forward, my dad was an Army vet. He was in Army intelligence, and they tried to keep him on 4 more years. And a company called IBM grabbed him, and he worked for IBM for the next 35 or 40, whatever it was, 35 years. Mom was a stay-at-home, wife, mom, whatever. She's great. Dad always seemed to manage to find the time to coach Little League, Boy Scouts, all of that stuff. I don't know how the heck he did it, but he was always there. But the connection was to the firehouse was my dad's dad. He was Serge the First, was killed in World War II. And then his mother died a couple of years later. So my dad was orphaned. And my grandmother's brother raised my dad. He was a World War II vet also. He was in the OSS. But anyway, they gravitated to the firehouse. That's where all the combat vets were. Every weekend, every Sunday after church, they go there. And then when I came along in 63, I used to, just hang out there. And that's really how it happened. It just happened, and I just saw these guys as firemen. I didn't see them as combat vets. I learned that later on in life, but just hanging out with them and grew up in the firehouse, the volunteer firehouse. Literally out my back door and about 1,000 feet down the road. It was right there on Linden Boulevard, the end of Linden Boulevard. When you cross into Elmont, it was right there. And it's one of the best, I thought it was one of the best fire departments on Long Island. I mean, some super firemen there I met, grew up with. My buddies, Chris, Paul, and Andy. They know who they are. Hopefully they're watching. I don't know if it wasn't for them either. I don't know if I would have wound up on a job myself, but it was.
That happens a lot, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Brothers and sisters? Yeah.
But yeah, my brother Chris, I think people know Chris Burack. He was a Hollis Hog. He was valedictorian, and I forget what class he was in. But he was and then he was a charter member of 133, and he retired out of 133. Oh, there we are. That looks like my dad, but that's my brother Chris. No, only kidding.
Actually, I talked to Chris. We were at the I met these guys and bullshitted with them at the 343 in Myrtle Beach, the golf outing. And of course, I started talking to your brother first, and I was like, "Hey, dude, man, you got to come on. It's a great story." It's like, "Ole!" He goes, "Here's my brother right over here."
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, I'm not worthy." I'm like, "Shut up! Let's go." You got fire stories in South Jamaica. Go on the show.
Yeah. How many Surges were there? Do you have a Surge?
No. I stopped it there. I'm actually Serge the Third. We stopped it there, and
nice.
And I have a Brian. My Brian.
All right.
Yeah. So not that I didn't, I just wanted him to have his own identity. He didn't have to be a junior. Just have your own identity and go do wonderful things. But I stopped it there. But Serge the First was he was the merchant marine captain. Torpedoed by a German U-boat in 42 and went down with the ship. And then 2 years later, his mom. Yeah, there he is.
No way.
Sergei Burashenko. Yeah. Well, they shortened it to Burack to get rid of the Russian connotation.
Yeah.
And then
wow, it's a great picture to have, bro.
Yeah. We found that my father didn't even know that. I found an out of print chronicle, I guess it was called. It was chronicle all the merchant ships that was sunk in World War II. A Careless Word, a Needless Sinking by Captain Moore. He wrote the book. There's some of them still out there, but I went online and got 3 of them that were still in halfway decent shape, and there was half a page dedicated to his ship and his sinking.
Wow.
But I'm still that's the little story right there. The U.S. Army Transport Jack, May 27th, 42. So. But he got us, the quintessential American dream. He came to America, worked his ass off, learned English, went to school, became a merchant marine captain, and he had like a 30-year career in the merchant marines. He was 51 when he was killed in 42.
Wow.
In Puerto Rico. But it was this stuff they said they were carrying sugar, and then the ship was classified to 2012, and then I got the records, and it wasn't sugar. it was lots of other things,
ammunitions or whatever.
Yeah, it was just they were bringing back. There was couriers with information and all of that kind of stuff.
Was everyone killed on the ship, or
no? There was I think there was a lifeboat. It says it right in there. Lifeboat 16. I think there's 16 guys on it that were at sea for 31 days. And I think one of our subs got them.
Wow.
And then there was 5 guys on a makeshift raft that were never seen again. So it's like
Oh.
half the ship, half the guys on the ship died, and the other half, survived. And I tried to reach out. I started this kind of late in life. If I would have started it when I was younger, I might have had a shot at, getting in touch with the survivors, but I never did that.
Is your dad still around?
No, he passed away in 2012 of Parkinson's. Yeah, he passed away. He wasn't a fireman though, but he hung out with all the guys over there. He loved going to, going to the firehouse and just hanging out.
He must have loved you guys getting on the job, right? Obviously.
Oh yeah. He was thrilled. Yeah, he was really thrilled because you see he saw the passion at a young age, and then me joining the Elmont Fire Department in the juniors, and then turning 18 as the first run.
No, come on, are you kidding me, bro?
My brother, my brother took that picture.
Man.
My brother, I have to I never got a chance to pay him back taking pictures of him. That was 1981 December. We were going to a car fire on Dutch Broadway, and
Dude,
I don't remember. It looks like I'm 10 years old.
There is no way they should allow you on the rig looking like that. I mean,
I
you
know.
look like you're 10, right?
Look at the chin stash kind of going there. With a little mustache going on there. Look at that thing. We all had it. We're laughing, but we all had one.
I was a happy camper, no doubt. But learned a lot. There's a couple of years later.
Oh, you got the chops. Where is that chops you got working there? The sideburns.
Looks like that. That's just probably I'm lazy. I didn't go to the barber or something. I don't even know. It was
the world of difference between the first picture and that picture.
The MSA,
and
the MSA mask with the
dude, that's a great picture, man.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
That's Beth Page Training Academy way back. That's probably I think 82, 83, somewhere in there.
You have
look at the Garrity light.
I was gonna say the old school Gary light on there.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, that was a lot of the pictures I have are still I have them in storage, and I couldn't get them out in time for this. But I have more. But anyway, it was great. I had a nice run there. I played lacrosse in high school, and then played 1 year of club league afterwards, and that got me in shape for the job. Took the written test in '82. Took the
that's what I wanted to ask you. How did you you knew you were taking the test? Or yeah. It
was either that or the Navy. I mean, not that the Navy's a consolation. It would have been beautiful either way. But I looked into the Navy, and then I couldn't get on FDNY. I was going military. But that was my first dream, and it worked out great. Pudgy Walsh's school was a big help.
We all
guy in my volley house won up the flight department. Kevin Powers, good guy. He got me involved with Pudgy Walsh's school and took me in there. We,
hit the tire,
the tire and all of that stuff. And so that was great. It was you get yourself in shape for that. And we had it was the end of August of '83 was the physical at the Armory by 111 and 214. There it was like 108 degrees in the Armory that day. It was crazy. But I wound up, I was in a class. The 83-85 with a couple of big names. You had Jimmy Daly on, Joey Higgins, a whole bunch of guys. Jojo Esposito, and
wow.
I don't miss any names. We had. The number was 7 guys we lost on. In September of '01. But the Lincoln Quadpay was a good dude. I worked with him a little bit in 123 and 234. Got on. It was 861 on a list, something like that. So, and got nice. On in at the end of the first year there, that they had to. It took a little while there with the lawsuits and whatnot, but everything worked out.
Who got on first? You or your brother?
I got on the fire department first, but he went in. He was a sheriff on Long Island first, so he actually has more
pension time
combined. So he did a little law enforcement first, and then which was good. He was working, and then he got.
He woke up. He was like, "Oh, I don't want to do this."
Yeah.
I think I'll be the valedictorian of the fire department.
Yeah, I think I'll just be the valedictorian, and then
I want up my brother because he didn't take a picture of me.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that, Dad?
He's a practical. He's a really. I wouldn't say good fireman. I think he's a great fireman because he wound up making a grab in '89, and Elmont pulled the kid out of a fire. It was a spectacular job. He did a really good job, and he's really good. He's in
Serge. We'll get him. We'll get him.
He's very quiet. He's very
very
quiet. He's like imposter syndrome and shit, but he's a good fireman, real good fireman.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. So what are we looking at here? August of '85. Is that when?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got
you started
Probie,
school?
Probie school, and then I was back when it was 2 months long. That was it. It was 8 weeks. We were out of there.
8 weeks.
It was fucking hot, man, and I ain't gonna lie. We came out in September. But backing up to Probie school, we were able to go up into the Bronx and pick the vacant buildings, and that's when they allowed you to go in there and do what you got to do. And it was great working, on vacants and applying everything we were learning in the classroom and at the Rock there. But it was condensed. I think we might have been the first class for peace officer training. That year they started peace officer training. I remember, and we got that. That was on Fridays, which was a little bit of a break. But
Probie school would have been 6 weeks long if you didn't have to do.
I said the peace officer for me. I think they stuck it in 1 week. It was like 5 days.
They did it. They did it on Fridays or something, like every other Friday. So I forget how. I kind of forget it. So 40.
This is what you need for peace officer. There you go.
Yeah, peace. That's it.
That's it.
And then the only time I ever went into Manhattan was for the circus when I was little, or to a Ranger game or something like that. But I get assigned that 76 engine, and I'm like, stop looking up, kid. Stop looking.
Did you try and use any hooks from Elmont? Was there any FDNY guys, or just?
Yeah. That's for another podcast, though.
All right.
Yeah, we're just moving on. That's
I love it.
Yeah.
That's a
Take it easy.
Take it easy.
Yeah. There was some of that, but well. But you know what? It worked out great because
that's it.
I learned high-rise firefighting right away. My first job, we had the Frederick Douglass houses right around the firehouse there on 100th in Amsterdam, and you got to be really. I mean, that's really 80. That was 80% of the work. Standpipe work. There was stretching. I mean, there's brownstones. You shouldn't say that, but we had a lot of high-rise. And the Frederick Douglass houses, the projects there. I had my first job in there, project job, but then some spectacular jobs. Up and down the west side there, up into Harlem. It was, we had some St. John of Divine went on fire a couple times.
Were you working for the St. John Divine fire?
I was not.
I had the later one.
There was a couple. There was a couple different. I might have been there for relief. I forget now.
Because I just want to say, 30 Truck is famous for using a ladder pipe at St. John. Divine
Fire.
Fire.
I think they did it. They did it. I think it was.
They did. Yeah.
Keith used it there. I remember.
Yeah. You can get. That's
in the audio room or something.
That's pretty impressive when a rear mount can get that ladder pipe up really fast and get that in operation. And not a guy he was an Elmont fireman, John Lozier, but he was a longtime member of 56 Truck, chauffeur 56 Truck, and he prided himself with setting up that ladder pipe all the time with 56. I don't know how much the 56 rest of the guys enjoyed that, because that's what tower ladders are for. But I mean, you're gonna hang out for a while. I don't know. But
we worked on it all the time. How long were you in the firehouse before you caught your first job?
I started on a Thursday night, September. This was last Thursday of September, and I caught it. We were like second due on Friday night. I did my 2 night tours.
Right.
So it was Friday night. I think it wasn't like the first nozzle job, but it was a job. It was a job.
Yeah, for sure. Nice.
And then then it was that was like 3-2. There was no fast truck. There was no. I mean, there was just 3 and 2 in the rescue, and any other additional help back then. I mean, I saw all of that. It changed, and they assigned that 4th engine, and then they gave you the extra
right. Just
truck.
kept. Then it was the fast truck. Then it was the rescue and the squad, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah, it was. We ran in with Rescue 1 up until I want to say that their cutoff was 110th Street, maybe, and then Rescue 3 came down.
Yeah,
so I was able to see, and then then when they made 41 a squad, I want to say that might have been 1990 or 89, 90, 91, somewhere.
90, 91, I think.
Yeah, somewhere in there. And then we ran in with them a little bit, and then, but it was great. I mean, it was, spectacular fires up there. We were very busy. We caught the when I got in 85, it was like the AIDS crisis was in full swing, and then we were getting the crack wars was starting, and so there was a lot of work around, and we had all the SROs and halfway houses, whatever you want to call them, on the west side there. And we had one in particular that we always would go to on 97th Street, and we had a pretty good job in there where they had to do maintenance on the sprinkler systems or something. They froze, and there was a fire guard there, but we wound up having like a second alarm there, and it was just really spectacular. The architecture, the buildings, these big big buildings on Riverside Drive and West End
Yeah.
Avenue, 10, 12 room apartments, multi-million-dollar places. It was an eye opener for me. I mean, I'm 22 years old, and I'm like, well, what I get myself into here, But it was a lot of fun. It was
those apartments on Riverside.
Learning curve, it was a big learning curve, but it was great.
Was there anybody there that stuck out to you, like that took you under their wing? Was it a boss? Was it a senior guy? Or
it was a couple guys. You should probably get him on the show, but he was another guy, and there was a lot of combat vets when I got there. I mean, from Vietnam.
That's awesome. Those are the best
they were
guys.
amazing. One guy stands out is Danny Williams. He wound up getting promoted after 20 years and going to 16 truck. I think he's lieutenant and retired out of 16, but he was great. Eric Kosak, another Vietnam vet, great guy. He was, those two had some, had Billy Reynolds in the engine, and Dave Shaughnessy, who has since passed away, and there's another guy, Ray Noeth, who was really, really knowledgeable, really smart dude. And there was a couple of guys that went to Penn State, and they were, they were great. And they would, there was a little room off the apparatus floor. They called it Captain Kinnick had wound up dying. I think he died of brain cancer or something, but he was big for the guys studying or just going in there and drilling. And it was
nice.
It wasn't no TV. It was just books, bookshelves and all study stuff, couches, whatever. And you go in there and they encouraged you to go in there and read, go in there, when everything else was done, just go in there and study and read and do what you got to do. And it was great. You didn't have to go upstairs and nothing. It was fun. It was, but the one guy I would say would probably be, Danny. The guy Freddie Hollins was, real big wealth of knowledge. He was, he was well versed in a lot of stuff there. It was a whole bunch of guys. I mean, they hadn't gotten Probies in a while. I think 11 of us from that class came to the battalion. Matty Barnes. We lost him, and it was a 25 truck. Got 3 guys. I think the engine.
11 guys from your class went to that battalion.
Went to that.
Wow, that's a lot of freaking Probies.
Yeah. 47 got a bunch of guys. We got 3 guys went to the engine, 3 guys went to 25 truck. It was 11 guys that came.
So remember, we had somebody from 22, 25. I forget. Somebody in the chat will remember, but I remember we were talking about it and saying, like, that's a good spot over there. Like, you know what I mean?
There's a lot of work and
a lot of stuff over there. Yeah.
Oh man, it was you had a little bit of everything. We had the underground Amtrak train tracks that ran from 125th Street. They come underground and they go underneath Riverside Park, and they come in underneath the Javits Center. So that was tunnels that would go there. So you had that whole dimension. We had some homeless encampment fires in there. It was hard getting access. They had
Joe McHugh.
What was that?
Joe McHugh.
Joe McHugh. Yes, Chief McHugh. Yep. Yeah. He'd come on. I think 1 or 2 years after me, but what a nice guy he is. He was great. And you had the old Captain George McGann was there, and he ran a tight ship there. He was a character. But
so let me see here. So you did 3 years in the engine, and then you transferred across the floor to the truck.
Correct. Yeah.
So that was and you stayed there for almost for 9 years. You stayed there.
Yeah. I was in 22 till I left in 94. I guess it was March of 94. I went to 126.
Yeah.
And,
were you studying that whole time? Were you reading?
I started studying probably with I would say I would say 89, 90 when my son was
I was going to say most people sit 4 or 5 years is when guys do it, they start doing it.
Yeah, and Captain Curran, engine 76, unfortunately we lost him to Lou Gehrig's disease, but he was a combat Marine, but we had an extra room on the second floor of the firehouse right off the back staircase, and he says, we're going to make this room, we'll clean this room out, we're going to make this a study room up here. And so we had an additional study room. We wanted guys to get in the books and start reading. And even if you weren't studying for promotion, just, get in there and read something. And so that was great. He was a really good mentor.
That's good.
He came to the firehouse with Bill Moore. They both came out of, I think, 48 engine and 56 truck as lieutenants. As captains, they came there. And he was great. We lost him too soon, but he was a really good mentor and a really good people person. And he was fun.
So you got closer to the house. I
had to get out. Got out. 9 years. The toll kept going up, and and then my son was starting kindergarten.
I'll tell you one thing. If I was picking a truck in Queens that's close to my house, where Elmont over there or Long Island, I think you done good, as they say. You know, like
shout out to Billy Bingo.
Oh, Bingo.
If he didn't get promoted to fire marshal, there wouldn't have been a spot for me there. So thanks, Billy, for taking the marshal. And I think I got promoted and he came back. So we paid back.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
So what year? So you got there in '94? I just saw that picture.
I was there as Gene Marmon says, Chief Gene Marmon, and I think he's in the 5-2 now. He's my mutual partner. Because you were here for a cup of coffee, man. What happened? You know, you just was there. Yeah, a little over 3 years.
I know. It goes
right
too
around
quick.
3.5 years, 4 years, whatever it was. I don't know.
Guys, put that pic back up. I saw Captain Hickey.
Yeah. So Brian loved this picture. Brian had this picture hanging. He got these made up, gave us each one, and this was his low profile truck picture. He loved it. We were all under 6 foot. And he loved it. And that's Kenny. You might recognize the guy on the left, like Tommy Riley. Was
I was just going to say I know him. He's a chief, isn't he? Is he?
Yeah. Oh yeah, assistant. I think deputy or assistant deputy.
Yeah. I know him a long time.
Yep. He was there. We came on. I think we came on the same order, and then the guy kneeling is John Maxwell. Timmy Killarney, we lost him several years ago. Actually, and Brian, we lost Brian in the Trade Center, and then Bobby Bruce there all the way on the right, and we lost him too. He was a really one of those chauffeurs that just knew every single block and building and knew.
Yeah, it looks like that.
Yeah, one of those guys that just you want that kind of chauffeur that's just been in the neighborhood forever and driving. It was great. What a difference though, coming from the west side of Manhattan, where you run into companies, 6-7 blocks down, you run into another engine or go either way, because it's so dense. But
now you can take a nap.
I had to drive the first week there. I was driving Lieutenant Schwemmer, who's a character. And
I know.
I'm like, he goes, "You got the wheel today." I'm like, I don't. Well, you got to help me. I know a little bit of Queens. I grew up in Elmont, but we got to figure it out. And sure as shit, caught a job my first time driving a little taxpayer on Van Wick Service Road. But yeah, it was the response. It was pretty far. Now you kind of understand why they put 133 in. Because when we would go that way, it would be like we'd be going for a while,
that's a good pick, dude.
That's a great pick. That's after a job. I don't know what job that is, but Brian, Timmy Killarney again, it's kind of the same groups. Myself, Kevin Stahl, and then Mike Sforza, and then oh gosh, Jesus, Kevin McDermott.
Was Kleehouse was already gone out of there, correct? Obviously,
no, he was there. No, that's where I met him. Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, that was wonderful working with him. I was in his groups, and
wow, what is that
drive
like?
Him. I would get the irons, depending on how the groups work. But it would, I mean, I had all the assignments with him, but I caught some really good work with him. Yeah.
What was he like, that guy? Like, what was he?
I
like?
mean, just amazing guy. Everybody says that maybe a little, everyone's afraid to go up and talk to him and chat with him, but ask. We'd be in the kitchen talking till 2 a.m. about stuff. I mean, it would just be, and 3 or 4 hours would go by. And you would, you'd be wow.
10 minutes. Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's one of those guys. Yeah.
Yeah, just everything, covering everything. And
how cool was he at a job? Like, he had to be so freaking cool.
Oh yeah. I caught some, like I said, I caught some good work with him. We had 2 PDs going, and a wire jumping around on the fence of the fire building. We couldn't get in there. The next building. So I'm following, and we just went down, 3 houses through the yard, across, and
right in.
Go right in the back door and start doing our thing, But he was, it was just, that was like, you can equate that to like a really great athlete in that respective sport, right? Like one of those, like a great.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah. I mean, that's just
it's like Bo Jackson, right?
Yeah. Yes. Well, yeah. It was just like, it was sort of like, wow, this, always heard about him, and then you work with him. But
that's great.
And a very, very personable, humble man. Never a me story, never ever. It was always generic, and it was like some people could be that way, and it's very, just a really good human, right there in this. And drilling was wonderful with him. It was, everyone shut up. I was working at night. I was driving the night Louis Valentino died, and we relocated to 169. That was rough because we got there and he was on the phone, being a Rescue 2 guy and all, and that was a a rough one. And we would, I remember that distinctively because he was, I think Pete Lund was there, and I think he was at that fire. There's a bunch of guys that got banged up there, and it was that was a sad night. But but yeah, we relocated and we spent, I think, good chunk of the night there, until 169 got back. But yeah, I was pretty blessed to work with some really, really, super elite firemen, which were, it's a team effort.
How long did it take you before you actually felt comfortable when you transferred in that fire?
I would say, I had some guys that I worked with there that were mutual friends with other people and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I would say, I got there in March. I was by the summer, I guess. I don't know, until I got to know all the groups and all. It was maybe 6 months, maybe. I don't know. It was 6 months, 8 months. But
there are places some guys could be pretty tough on transfers and like, who's this?
Yeah.
Curious,
But I came in with 9 years from I was already a chauffeur and this and that and driving. Not that means anything, but it worked out pretty good.
No, it means a lot, actually.
Sure.
I think you come in with 9 years, especially to a place like that.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I wasn't private dwellings is, I'm not gonna.
Right.
I'm not taking all my time. Private dwellings is pretty. It's like, but Brian Hickey always said, "Hey, these aren't private dwellings. These are three family homes." And that's he always said that. He goes, remember that the basement's a different occupancy than the first floor. Sometimes 4 family homes, because then you got the attics. So you got the attic,
2.5 story,
floor,
right.
The first floor and the basement, and everything's the stairs are gone. You got an outside entrance. There's no way to get from the inside to the basement. So that was a little weird. Learning all of that and all the illegal renovations and stuff. But it all worked. It all worked out. I was I wasn't working the night when John Clancy was killed, but Clearhouse was working. He seems to work on a lot of these crazy, sad nights. But that was a rough one because we were in that building a couple, week before for rubbish and stuff like that. And nobody, if somebody would fall through during that, you wouldn't fall into the inferno at that point. It was just weird. But that was one of the other tragic fires when I was in 126. But when I got to 126, I think the Watt Street fire, just like we were talking earlier, Lou, there was 93, I guess 93 into 94. I think we were on
a lot of guys
on a bad luck roll.
I used to be able to name them. It was the 3 from the Watt Street, right? It was Lerner. It was Louis Valentino. It was the kid, the Probie, and what was the name?
Kevin Kane.
Oh no, Kevin Kane was one. He was earlier than that. It was McLaughlin. The kid in Manhattan. Somebody would know. I can't even believe I can't remember his name right now. The kid. He ended up. What the hell? It was it was a Probie. I forget what the hell. Yeah, but there was in 94, 95, it was nonstop,
Really? Yeah.
And then that's when I think that's when they instituted somewhere right in there. Then they came out, they put the brakes on. They were like back to basics class. We got to do something.
You know what? That's when the back to basics, it was like,
it started a little later, right? Mid 90s. Yeah. Correct. Yep. Then that was
the fallout from all those guys dying was this back to basics classes.
That was the impetus of it. Yeah, that was the impetus of it, and it was it was a and I knew a couple of the guys that started the program, but it was just let's just go back to basics. Every engine take your own hydrant. It was they were big on that. Only
Wiley was the guy.
Wiley
was the kid.
Yeah, Wiley. Yep. And then
Thank you.
engine, not only. Don't take the third line off, off the first 2 engines. Let's, go to a different engine that's a different water source, and just reinforcing all of that stuff, and just, I guess, just getting, and just like the topic says, getting back to basics. And it was actually good because it gave everybody hey, let's, it was, and we were coming out of the crack wars were ending with the and maybe a little bit of complacency was setting in. We had, I think, something like 2,500 homicides 3 years in a row or something like that in the 89.
Yeah.
With those homicides, with the fire duty was crazy. It was getting, all the different drug dealers were burning everybody out, pulling up a 5-story vacant going, spreading to the occupieds. It was really,
I'm trying to remember the guy.
it was something else to
Was
experience.
Borgia there? Borgia?
Chief
No,
LaForgia?
Borgia in
Borgia?
126. Yeah,
He might have been there. I left in '97, so he might have.
He was there for a long time.
Yeah, he was there. Yeah, he was there. But
he came on with me.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was assigned there. I don't think he was assigned there. Then maybe he transferred in over there.
You know what? Maybe was he there when I was there? Did he go to the engine first?
I don't remember.
The memories getting.
I'm just remembering names are popping into my head. I'm like,
hold on, I'm going to Google it. Hold on.
I'll throw it out there.
But yeah, it's there was and like every firehouse turns over. You know, like every so many years, and and it's you go back and it's it's a the whole 60 double
Serge,
house.
I say that every time on the show. Everybody, you can work in 126 in your time and have maybe they're 10 years. Mm-hmm. And there's like these little sweet spots where you have 2-3 years where everybody's on the same page and you just love working with everybody and it fits perfect. And then, like you said, people get promoted, or they transfer to the rest. Something happens, or they retire, and now you got a whole new swath of guys. And it's great, but it's not the same, and it takes a little bit of time to get back into that mold again. And it just keeps happening through your career.
Yeah. When your guys that you all came up with all start leaving and going to you're like, okay, I still love this job, but my friend, like my guys,
it's different.
It was different. Guys were getting made. The house was turned on. It was good. And then I wasn't sure if I was honestly when I transferred. It was like there was still like no guarantee, that there was going to be, I was going to get made, and nothing like that. So I was I'm going to get closer to home. I would have been very happy just staying
there. Yeah. I got you, man.
At
great house,
no question. But this was that one test, that one lieutenant's test where they gave like the 215 answers, and you had you had 15 questions.
I remember
that. They hit us with that of like a month or 6 weeks before the exam,
and they could change it to whatever way they wanted. Basically,
right. And if you put a wrong answer down, you lose a good one.
Right. It was better not to answer. It was better. What kind of didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It made no sense. I
agree. So it was crazy, but I mean, I lucked out. It all worked out, and had a good Saturday, and then rest is history, really. I mean, it was. I hated to leave there. It was great, but it was good because I was in Lynbrook. I lived in Lynbrook at the time, and it was good to help out with like I said, my son was starting kindergarten. It was good to be able to drop him off at school and still be at work and give early relief at 8 o'clock. So. And some of the guys are chuckling now in the chat, I'm sure. Yeah. It wasn't 8 o'clock. You showed up at 8:45.
You were the only guy in the job with kids, so.
All right. So 1997, you get promoted and you are assigned to the 15th Division. I mean, you seem to be landing on your feet. I know, you don't want to talk about it, but wow, you still look young there, dude.
Yeah, that's
wow.
That's 97. Yeah, so 34.
Is that the Rock?
Yeah.
Is that at the Rock?
Yeah, that's the Rock.
Yeah, so that's the UFA president Gallagher and the first guy, and then Jimmy Brower is the UFOA, and then that's I think the D something. That's a chief. I forget who. If that wasn't the chief of department. Chief of department's Casaburi, already at the end, and I'm shaking Gansey's hand, Chief Gansey right there, and then
Feehan.
Commissioner Feehan is next, Chief Feehan, Commissioner Feehan, and then there's Casaburi is the last guy in line, and it was great. I mean, that was they all showed up, and there's Chris, there's my brother, yep, and then that's after the ceremony, obviously, and then it was a good day.
Nice.
Patty Lee, my old lieutenant, said best time for changing over came when all the vowel left. When all the vowels left.
When all the vowels.
Happy days are here again. That's some of a bitch.
All the Italians, have to leave the
Italians. Tell him
Can I buy a vowel, Alex?
He loves me. He loves me. I know he loves me deep down.
I used to get called a scruffy Irish potato. It was what I was called.
That's pretty good.
If it wasn't, the Italian guys made the best, come on, the meatballs and the veal cutlet parmesan.
The chicken palm, baby. Ravioli. Let's go.
Did you ever make any like Russian meals in the firehouse? Did you ever have anything?
No, not really, because like I said, my dad, he both
that would have
been
cool.
He was 10 years old with no parents, lived in an orphan, so he more like French, and then him and his it was his uncle, my great uncle. He was actually my godfather too. But they were like, they lived together up until my dad got married in the house. They were like bachelor, whatever they did, they just did, meatloafs and guys, whatever. There was no, He-Man Women Haters Club, whatever. They hung out. They had, he was a great guy. My uncle, my great uncle. He was like, actually, I called him my grandfather, but he was great. But no, I would say a little bit of the French stuff. My dad got married, and my mom was German, though, but she made everything. She she could cook everything. But it was I wish that's something like that culture I miss. Losing that.
Yeah, that would have been cool, man. That would have been cool.
It would have been.
You start making some Russian shit, man. That would be.
I would have loved to find out.
Yeah.
What they made on the ship, because you knew they ate like
yeah. But they had to feed all those guys, right?
Yeah,
so
that would have been wonderful. But
it's good for the fire floor, whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, absolutely. But,
all right, so let me see here. So you got promoted in '97, and did you bounce around that much? It didn't look like you bounced.
About a year. But about a year. I got made in March, and I covered in a month or two in 276 as a lieutenant there. That was that wound up dying of cancer. I stayed there for a little bit.
That's a cool place.
Yeah, it was near the highway. Caught some good fires there, and then I went, and then Eddie in Division 15, the Division 8. He was like, "Hey, listen, I got this R group, the 12R group." And
I love it.
So I did the 12R group in the 15, and it went across to the 11th Division. So it was really good companies. I was 123, 132, 217, 222.
A couple single engines there. Nice.
227 and 123. And then 2 SA tours. And I did that. And my mutual partner was John Rail, who's a retired Chief Rail. He was at the time. And then I wound up, running into Tom Richardson. I always thank Tom. He sees me at a gas leak. He goes, "Hey, you want to come over and do the UFO in 234?" And I'm like, "You're talking to me?" And it's like,
hell yeah, absolutely. And that was kind of like pretty much the end of my covering. But I had to do a little. The commissioner's office called in January, the training, January '98. And I was actually at the union meeting when I got the text, and it was like, call a 999, call a commissioner's office. I'm like, what did I do? I'm going back like 2 weeks with tours. What did I do wrong? And it was, you're not getting a spot. They're leaving a spot open for a training group. They're gonna make it training lieutenant spots. I remember when they were doing that. I remember that.
So I went out to Myrtle's Turtles in 286 for a little bit. This isn't in the bio. Sorry, I forgot about it. But and I did, which was great. The guys were great. Just drilled. Caught a couple good fires there with them. But I think Tommy Richardson made a little deal because he lost the second lieutenant to captain, promoted, getting captain. It was just him and one other lieutenant there. So because if that happens, I want to get Serge back, which I wasn't complaining. Yeah. So I was back by the summer. I think I was gone for maybe 3 or 4 months, something like that.
So what was the deal? You weren't getting the spot because of what reason?
They were making certain companies. They were leaving certain companies open for training spots. Training spots for certain, so
because they were going to more work. So everybody wants those spots, so they just left them open.
They were utilizing it as a training spot for a newly promoted officer from a different.
Imagine being a captain in that house, and then they're running people through there just because it's a great spot.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That was but it didn't. It was only the one and done with this one guy, and
Oh, okay.
And I'm not going to mention his name, but he was actually a pretty funny dude. But he was just like, if I wanted to come here, I would have transferred here. I'm like, it's just like he kind of really didn't want anything to do with it. But nice guy, but it seemed that way. But
wasn't for him.
Yeah, it wasn't fit. So I came back, and that was the spring of '98, and I retired in 05. I stayed in that house. It was great. It was good. It was a nice run. It was a great place to work.
So the engine there, like. It's in the shit right there, like that's in the St. John's East, right? It's right there.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of videos on YouTube about. I like that one old video. You could pull it up on St. John's where they you hear the guy go. The boss goes, "You got guys out the window," or something like that, and then next thing you know, they put ladders up. The guys hanging out. It's freaking awesome.
That was before my time, but we caught some nice work there, and it was
That's a mix of everything there. Like you have everything there.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was. We had we had the projects a couple blocks north of us right there, and it was. We had Fulton Street. We'd run in. We were first and second dude in 111 and 214. I mean, it was just like I'm pinching myself. I'm like, this is like
you're right in the middle of it, man.
I mean, this is like,
there.
How did this happen? And it was just. But I say it's like I felt like I said it when I retired. I said I felt like Joe Torre with the 1990 Yankees. I was like,
you didn't have to do much. Just get on the rig.
Right. I didn't have
the rig.
I was like, it was just like you're not.
I hear you.
Everybody's a starter, and it was like everyone's there for the same reason.
Starter. I
fucking
love
starter. I was just it was you want to be around people. You want to have the same mindset, right?
Yeah, no doubt, man.
Yeah. So
who were your chauffeurs there? Did you have a couple old timers out there at least?
Bobby Garrett, Mike Pfister, real good dudes. And then there was a couple of ones that were left of Dougie Mara, and then there was one that was like a rotating one. I think I kind of forget. That was in the engine. And then in the truck you had that's somebody you should get on, but he'd probably never come on. But
I know the feeling.
Tommy McGoldrick.
His name comes up. I've heard him.
Yeah, he would be. I mean, he is.
I think I remember him too, actually.
Yeah, he's just.
I worked there a few times.
Even this is just a conversation. It could last with him like 5 hours. I mean, it's just a great guy. I just talking. I mean, but it's 5 hours of like it's all like you're right on. It's not. You're not falling asleep or nothing. It's a great conversation, and it goes all over. But it's wonderful. And he was there, and then he went to 126. He got promoted, and he went lieutenant. 126.
Shit, yeah.
Wow. He just did. He worked right up until 60. They asked him to leave on his 65th birthday.
I got to see if I get him.
42 years.
Wow.
42, but yeah, and 20. He might have did 25 and 123. I don't even know.
Wow.
No, or 20. Or he did 20, almost the same. 20. Yeah, he would be wonderful, and I hope he would. I
mean, I detailed to 234 when I was a Probie, and coming from a slower company, they were like, "You might catch a job tonight." And
I might have been there.
I was all night long. I was wide awake. There was no freaking rested, man.
Did you bring an extra set of clothes? Did you bring extra clothes?
I think I did. I think they were like, bring extra stuff. They were like, you might go to work tonight. You're in. It was like a weekend. It was like a Saturday. I was like, all right, I had like 4 months on the fucking job, and I was up all night.
I think I worked.
I made a mistake like that when I was young on a job. I got detailed up. There was a bunch of jobs going on in Harlem, and they were equalizing the manpower. So they were looking for a volunteer to go up to 23 truck for the range of the tour. And I was like, I'll go. I was in the engine. I went up there, and then naturally go to another job, 23. But I forgot to take extra clothes, and it's like, whoops, they never make that mistake.
You soaked.
Yeah, he soaked. I mean, the guys were like,
that gave you shit. Almost every time I remember guys giving shorts, pants, shirts, whatever it was. Yeah. Nobody cared.
Nobody.
I wanted to ask you this because I was just thinking it before we get over to. I know you transferred over to the truck too. I think I worked in the engine a few times, and I worked in the truck a few times there. But the first time I worked in the engine, the office is like as soon as you come in, both the engine and the truck were right next to each other, right in the same room,
right in front of you. Correct.
Right in front of you.
Yeah.
So
the house watch, and then boom, boom. Yep.
Correct. So I walked
I don't
in
remember
there.
that.
Yeah, and there was a lieutenant in the truck. He kind of had my body. He's like a lanky guy, older guy, looked like leathery looking dude, like he was salty as a motherfucker. And I know he was there forever. I know he was there forever.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. He was we were mutual partners for a little bit, and
doesn't talk much.
No. No, but Tommy Zolke,
Zolke, that's who it is.
Yeah, great guy.
And we had a job.
Great guy.
We had a job.
Some outstanding. What you talk about, a really good fireman there. That guy is, he forgot more than half the people know.
I think he was kind of like he didn't want to say anything, and then we had the job. Wasn't a great job, but it definitely was a decent job. And after that, he was talking to me like he was, we were bonding a little bit. But and every time I would see him, he was all right kid. But after I would see him, he reminded me of when I see that picture of, I think is it Tom Brennan who made the picture of the guy on the house watch, right, with the cigarette.
Oh,
that's when I think of that guy.
Yeah,
that's the guy that pops in my head. Is that guy's body, like that guy, salty, the guy from 123, without a doubt. That's
he,
how he reminded me, just like that.
Yeah, he was down in I forget where he was down in 321 or 323, maybe 321. One of those engines for a little while. He was there, and then when he put his paper in for the truck, I mean, he beat everybody out by dozens of points. You know, he had more. Another guy with a ton of time on the job, but he was a 113 fireman. Really good guy. And I met him there, and we just a super guy, and really knowledgeable, and holds people accountable, and very just a really good. He wound up having a when he was in 113, he wound up getting badly burned in a fire and came back to work. He was out for a while. He was at the burn center for a long time, and I think that there was a whole time that era, those years. I forget what years they were, but it was. I think that's when the transport vans and stuff like that started coming about. Or I think that was the discussion when around that time.
That guy definitely reminded me of that.
Yeah, no, he was. He was. He's a real deal. He was. He was a really good guy. He liked to work his straight tours too. I mean, sometimes it didn't.
Yeah, he was an old school dude, right?
That's old. Yeah, that's old.
Yeah, you could tell, just how he presented himself.
He was laid off. He was back. One of the guys that was back in the layoffs, got laid off, came back, and it was rough stuff. But but good guy, just 100%. Really good guy to have in the firehouse and that experience, and taught a bunch of the junior guys, the Probies, and it was just a good officer to have. I learned a lot from him.
No doubt. All right, so 98, you went to the engine. You were 234 for a couple of years till 2002, and then you got detailed to OEM. So tell us about that for a little bit.
Yeah. So it was coming out of the garden, Madison Square Garden. A chief, I knew him years prior, before the job. He was going to be the fire department chief at OEM, and he was recruiting guys he wanted to fill his I guess OEM, whatever they call them, responders, or I forget what the name was, but I should know it. But yes, he wanted, he asked, can you come over for a year? I said, yeah, I'll give it a whirl, get a good something on the resume and all, and give it a shot. And it was a good time to go just to go take a little something else to do.
Yeah.
And it was, I got the blessing of the
Gonzo, give me a little boing.
Yeah.
Gonzo's all excited. OEM, he just perked up. You see him perk up over there?
Look how he was sleeping there for a minute.
Hey, no, I'm here. I told you I'm a little beat up.
We're talking about OEM.
But it was cool to see from the incident command side and see all the stuff. I had some pretty cool things. I had that ESPN. It turned out to be like a hoax thing, but it was the anthrax attack at ESPN that night, and that was kind of got like a little hairy there at the beginning, but just to see what was going on. But it turned out to be it's just a hoax and whatnot. And then there was a couple of a whole bunch of different type of building collapses and stuff like that, and just to see from that perspective that you really where we were a resource for the fire department side of the command post. Hey, this is what I need. Get it for us. And there was a couple of guys there that were there for long term that knew the job more than me. I was just there for the year. But yeah, guys like Frank Durr, that's a guy you could get on. He's pretty. He was from 165 truck, Bethpage guy, and he was there forever. Pete Engelum, he's an EMS guy, but he ran the motor pool there, and he was just a really good guy with incident command and stuff like that. He was, he's really well versed in that. Taught me a lot with that. But we were citywide. I got a take home car with a gas,
wow.
Gas,
a gas credit card.
I would have rode that shit out to the sunset.
I probably should have done it. I probably should have just stayed there and just, but stupid me. I go back to the firehouse but I want to go to the truck, but no, it was worked out great.
Looks crystal clear from now. You know what I mean? When you look back,
yeah, I know. Yeah.
Back then, you're like, I want to go to fire. So
I still think I'm 22, and I wasn't. But yeah.
Now they were building all that up, the OEM, the incident command, all after 9/11, right? That was like, was that all? Was there a team before?
Well, because you lost the OEM, the whole state of the art one. It was in Building 7, and that Yeah, so that was all that was they lost. Yeah, it was already OEM was been around like I think it started in '96 when Giuliani was mayor. He created the Office of Emergency Management, the mayor's office of emergency management, because there was nobody that was like somebody you can go to the command post, somebody that ran like not the incident per se, but everything behind the incident.
Gotcha.
So I think Giuliani started that when right around the time when they merged with EMS and they did that. And the first people I want to say was maybe, if I remember correctly, it was Ellison, Jimmy Ellison's dad, I think started it, and a couple other guys. I think Timmy Brown might have been in the first group of those, getting that rolling. And there was other names and stuff, but it was, it was well on its way. And then they put a temporary building. We had a building under the Brooklyn Bridge. They just took a warehouse over and just, I think 24/7. And then they had another location that you'd never know it. There was like a duplicate one, like over in Canarsie or over by Sheepshead Bay or something. And I forget what street it was on, but you would never, from the outside, it's graffiti. It looks like a vacant building, but you go through two doors. It's like, it's like Jason Bourne, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah, it's huge cache of tools and shit.
Yeah. It was wild. Yeah. And
it was in Canarsie, I believe. Yeah.
There was a PD presence there. There was a, PD presence was there. So they had the security. I think it might have, they might have been like some type of, NYPD unit there, but it was good. We had to go there on the weekends. If I was working the weekend, we go there. We had to fire up the generators and make sure everything works.
Test everything out.
Yeah, just pretty much check the rig sort of stuff, and it was
gotcha.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was really interesting.
God, that's called a gig.
Yeah,
everybody needs a gig.
A little gig.
Everybody, hold on, ready?
Gig,
Oh man, I wasn't ready for that. I moved. I went to a different one.
Holy shit,
your timing is impeccable as usual, Gonzo.
Way to go, Pete.
Oh, I got the scratch on my face.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and then back to the firehouse, and then
how was it coming back to the firehouse? Was it a little weird, or you right back in there?
No, I was doing overtime in the field a little bit still. I was like, they were calling, and probably wasn't supposed to do that, but I was like, I don't know.
Yeah,
30 years ago.
I don't know.
They need you. That's that.
I made myself available.
That's what you got to do. That's what you got to get.
Yeah. Everybody needs a gig.
Like what? They called me. They called me for the.
They called me, Chief. They called me.
They called me.
And my answer is always yes.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I just picked up someone.
I'll switch something around.
Yeah, that's a good group of guys right there. That's probably, I'm looking at that. That's got to be 98, 99, somewhere in there. I worked the night. We kind of went out. We almost went past. We did go past it. I worked the Y2K night there. We had the command post. Yeah, that was like, they worked on
the world's going to end.
The world was going to end. And for 3 months, they were putting phone banks in. There were people working in the firehouse. See, that's a Christmas Day fire in 234, 123 First Still.
Who's the third guy from you? Who? I know
Steve
him.
Cross. That's Steve Cross. Yeah, he got promoted. He went to the truck. He was in the engine, went to the truck.
I know him. I remember him. Yeah,
and then worked in Manhattan. I should know the engine he went to. I want to say it's 58th Street, the engine on 58th Street. 23 engine or the other. I forget the other.
He looks very familiar.
65. Yeah.
And the boss next to you there, that was.
That's Tommy. That's Tommy Riley. Yep.
I mean, I remember seeing him.
Yeah, he's captain at the time. He was working He was the captain of 249 engine.
That's where it was 249.
That's the guy.
But he was in Brooklyn. I mean, he worked in Brooklyn a long time. That guy.
Yeah.
Oh, look at what's his name there, Burnsy right there.
Yeah, Burnsy right there. Yep, and then behind him, like the third guy over, that's John McNamara in the back.
Yeah.
There he is. Yeah.
There's somebody in the back there just peeking his head out.
Yeah.
Sees a little half a face.
Yeah. That's I think that might be Dombrowski, and then myself, and then there's a couple other guys. Yeah, the Probie all the way on the left, I think is a captain or a chief now, and then
isn't that funny?
Yeah, it's crazy, right? Yeah, good stuff.
I think Patty just got out. He just got out.
Yeah. I saw him at the golf.
Oh, at the golf. That's right.
Yeah,
that's
right.
How I found out myself.
Yeah, it was good seeing him. He was in the I think he was in the foursome in front of us. I think he was in front of us. No, he was behind us. Yeah. And he was
that Chief Dunn's nephew in the photo by any chance? Somebody was.
You'd have to go back to that. Let me see. Go back.
Let me see. Which
that was the one behind the rig right there.
It's in front of 132's rig.
Yeah, that's 130. Yeah, no,
which
no, no, that's Dunn's not there. Dunn's not in this picture. Nephew,
Tommy Dunn.
Tommy Dunn. Yeah,
Tommy Dunn.
Oh, the other picture. Yes, in the picture in the fire on Christmas Day. Go back one more. Yes, that is Tommy. Yes. The second from left to right. The second guy. That's Tommy Dunn.
The guy like kind of scooching down.
Yeah. We just lost him.
No.
Well, he last year. Yeah, it was a year ago. Tom. Yeah.
No,
I can tell you offline, but yeah, it was publicized. Chief Dunn made the announcement and all. You know, he.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah,
you know what? I remember that.
Yeah, he's.
I remember him posting that.
I forget what company he was in, but you know, he had a lot of trauma. If he was, you know, I'm not sure if he was in the collapse of 9/11 or he was at the command post, and he witnessed a lot of horrible shit. For a long time, and right. Yeah, he was a great engineman. I could tell you right now, he's a great nozzle man. I mean, I had some good fires with him. He held his own name.
I remember it now.
Yeah, but yeah, that's a shitty part of the job. But
that's the stuff we don't talk about that much.
Yeah, you're getting you're finding. You know, they got to finding more things for purpose when you get out of the job and stuff to do. You know, to keep you find other things.
Yeah, you got to find purpose. You got to keep your mind occupied. You got to keep moving. It's not easy. And listen, you know,
start a podcast.
Yeah, start a podcast.
You got to have
easy.
We talk about
Kenny. It's easy.
Especially line up.
Guys will line up. You know, I got them knocking down my door. You know.
Yeah, you know what? I got a guy for you.
I
got a great guy for you.
You do? You go, okay, you know him? Do you talk to him? No? Okay, then I don't.
Oh, his name's Ed. Pull Ed.
Holy fuck. Holy shit. All right, so you finish out. You ultimately retired 2005.
Correct. Yep. Yeah.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, good. No, yeah, just
I was going to ask you, I mean, in your bio, you got working. I mean, I know we're going back a little bit. I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, stealing my thunder, bro.
4th of July in 1991.
Yeah, there's a guy. There's a guy. I didn't get permission to use his name, but he was Jimmy Marchetti. You know, yeah. So he was working. I think he might have been a lieutenant at the time or a captain, but he was a 30 truck guy. I think 30 truck or. But he was working overtime in 22. On Christmas night of 91, and we went out, and I mean we came back a couple of times, but we went from job to job to job. I mean half the jobs were towel out of jobs, but still it was peak Mayor Dinkins time, and it was
baby,
2,500 murders, but crack war, everything going on, fires, and all holes barred. I mean we had a lot of work that night, and it was. You know, we had Queens companies, and I always enjoyed working it. But then, as you get a little, older, it's like much rather be at the beach or in the bar having a barbecue.
So I worked. That's funny.
That's when you know it's like okay.
I worked 10 in a row. 10.
Oh, God bless you.
July 4th in a row. My first one was 1993. I just got on, and I think I went to like 4 or 5 jobs, like three multiples. Right, it was awesome. Yeah. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to do this. The next year was 94. I think I went to 1 or 2 fires. This was 117, right? After that, I don't know when Giuliani got in there, but it went from like, it was like this crash. I mean, it wouldn't even go on the food on the 94. So it was 95 was like food on the stove. It's like it was like nothing. And I kept working them. And like you said, I should have been at the beach. You know what I mean? Because even when I was in the squad, I went to the squad. I was like, oh, 4th of July.
Yeah.
You know, for a long time, all the fireworks were gone. They took all. You couldn't have fireworks.
Kind of fizzled out. Yeah, he came in and put the kibosh on everyone.
Was 91 the worst year?
117. I remember watching the podcast a couple months ago. You were mentioning Bill Donald, right? He was lieutenant.
Yeah. He was my lieutenant.
So he's a Limbrick guy. I knew him. I was a Limbrick fire.
I've been trying to get him.
That's a guy you should.
I know.
I think his son or his nephew's the chief in Limburg now, or was, or something. Yeah, good guy. Yeah, wealth of knowledge.
Hey, Kubler.
Kubler! Stand up and say that.
Hey, God, show them our new product we're coming out with.
Kubler, do you watch? We got.
You can write books. This is what we're doing.
He just launched this little bad Jemmy.
This is my new launch. I sent one to Gonzo.
It gives you a little noise, kind of get the blood going, and maybe just maybe.
We got 3-2 in the rescue. Sounds like a job.
Sound like a job.
$9.95, and you could use it as a Ginsu knife as well.
Boy,
yeah, Lieutenant Lee, you got to get.
I had an unusual incident. I've skipped over at the beginning there. We had. You ever hear of the money train and the money train?
I've seen the movie. Wesley Snipes.
It used to go around and pick up all the cash and coins from all the token booths, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was. I had to go back and Google the date, but I was working. We were first due. It was the money train on. It was 1989, March 10th of '89, and double check. Yeah, March 10th of '89, but 5 a.m, and it was rear-ended by a number 1 train on 104 on Broadway, and the money train was.
Oh my God!
I didn't realize that it was the Transit Authority. That's back before the merger, right? So the Transit Authority cops. It's the first time I ever saw like a machine gun, whatever you want to call it. But they were like, no, fine, we don't. You guys stay over there. Come here.
I would have been filling up my boots, man.
I was like, whoa, what do you
grab
mean?
a bucket or two,
I resent that. Come on, we got to check everything out. But it was like a freaking Brinks truck. It was, it looked like a thing out of like a Mad Max movie. And it only went out in like 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. Like, so, this is before debit cards and direct deposit and all that. This went out, it's antiquated, but they're coming out with sacks of money. And I don't know where that thing went, where it finally ended up. And I guess it was transferred then to a regular, Brinks, vehicle or whatever. But that was an interesting one, but it was actually pretty funny. It was like
almond car for trains. Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah. I remember it was yellow. It was painted yellow. Yeah, it was yellow.
You don't want to bring any attention to it. You just want
with dollar signs.
Tried to make it look. Yeah, I didn't. That was not a squad. That was not a squad joke. I said
$100 bills painted on it.
What color was the bag you grabbed, Serge?
Money.
Yeah, that was interesting. That was
wow. That's pretty cool.
They invented the Metro card, and that was it. No more money. That was it.
That was it. Go back a little bit. So was it 1990 or 91 were the worst years for 4th of July up there? I thought it was 91.
I would say 89, 90, 91. Those 3 years were great. Or sad or whatever, however you want to say. It was great for if you wanted to come in and get dirty and go to work. Yeah,
crazy jobs.
But I mean, it was good. It was also too. It wasn't 2 degrees out, so the bucket jobs were, going up in a towel ladder. It was fun because it was the summer. It was. It was better. I'd rather be in the bucket doing a towel ladder job in July than doing it
February,
in January, February. Yeah, no doubt. But
yeah, those are the years. Those are the years, or was it before? They were like, just stop at whatever fire you see and fight that fire. And you might get help.
There was no tent. There was no tent. You couldn't ask for a 10-8 or a 10-7. There was there was none of that. You just if there was nothing there, it was 10-92. You moved on. Yeah.
We had a good first deal. I don't think it was because that was Lieutenant Kilroy working. I was in the truck. I had the can, and I want to say it was probably 80. I don't know, it might have been 88 or 89. And we had a job on 106 between Amsterdam and Broadway, and it was they shot a 2-stage rocket into a H-type into like the 3rd floor.
Love it.
And it was like, it was good. But it didn't go to multiple nothing, but it was one apartment, a couple rooms in one apartment. But the engine did a great job. But it was like probably one of a nice, good can job for a little while until it wasn't. But the guys were able to get Kilroy and Paul Conlon were able to get a good search going, and they got the whole apartment searched quick before I ran out of water, and then engine came in. It was like clockwork. But that was a good first to occupy 4th of July one. Unfortunately for the people there, some idiot shot a 2-stage rocket.
I was just saying, like years ago, like especially that time, I remember like driving driving around, and you would see all the windows were open. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the curtains were out, right? It was just nobody has windows open anymore. You could buy an air conditioner for $75 now. You know what I mean? Like so that whole a lot of that was stuff just popping in the windows, right? All the time. It was always the bedroom. I remember those couple of jobs that I had there. It was like it got into the room because the windows were open because everybody couldn't afford air conditioners, right? It was crazy shit.
You used to take the bottle rockets, light them, and try and time it to throw them up straight. But you throw them up, and then they start falling back, and then they would light, and then shoot right into somebody's window. You're like,
crazy.
Allegedly, I think everybody is
allegedly,
Yeah.
Whoop. I think all the windows are closed now, so you don't
I
even
saw it on a
have to
safety video once.
Oh, yeah.
One of the years we wound up in the Bronx for a little while too. We wound up getting relocated for the first part of the 4th. We weren't even in Manhattan anymore. We went up to it always depends which area started burning first, and then the second law is with 1018s. Very true. That's right, Pat Lee. That's right. Pat Lee knows.
He knows.
He knows.
Wow. Busy times, man.
Yeah, it was.
Do we have any other pictures, Guns?
Actually, we have some family ones.
Let's do that.
So we'll start from the beginning because we didn't get to them. But this was Brian.
Yeah, that's 1989, and
wow.
That was.
That's a cool pic to have.
Firehouse, yeah. Now he's. Yeah.
Oh, hello. Who's coming?
Yep. They grew and then got another one.
Yep.
Yeah, that's Brian and that's Kelsey.
Kelsey.
Yeah, she's probably, what is she? 2 or 3, somewhere in that 3 maybe.
Yeah. And then we have.
And then this is fast forward. This is Brian again. This is December of 01. I just was, just picking up tours and covering in Manhattan. I was in 54 engine for 24.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
He was in the Sea Ranges. And he had a field trip into the Intrepid. So so I got a cool picture with him in Intrepid.
Very cool.
And I got another one with a tank, and I couldn't find that. Yeah, there's one with a tank. I think you see the tank in the background there. But yeah, it was a nice little trip. So the guys were really. I said, hey, do you mind? Can we go over there? And, oh yeah, let's get out of Firehouse. They were great. So get over there and see him.
Just going back to look at the vehicles. It look like they're filming NYPD Blue, and then you got that Darmount, whatever the hell that box car is.
That's a Chrysler.
I tell you, that's not that long ago. That's 2001. That's crazy. That's December of 2001.
Technology.
It's a K car, right?
No, it is. Sorry, is it a K car? I can't believe
it is.
Yeah.
Damn, man. And then another
Aries K. It is.
Yeah, that's Kelsey again. That's at my promotion in '97.
That's at the Rock. Yeah.
That's at the Rock, and that was February 1st in '97.
I wonder how many kids have sat in that chair over the years, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So we have we got 4 more to go here, and then more families to pick.
Yeah. So this is fast forward. This is 2018. This is my son Brian and his wife Mimit.
He's doing all right.
He's doing
married up over there. Good looking
kid.
Yeah,
married up all right. No question.
Married up times 10. I mean, come on.
Right into DC. That's the monument behind him there.
Kind of looks like you a little bit there.
Tiny bit. Yeah, people say that.
He's got the foo-foo hair working.
He doesn't look like my mutual partner. That's all that counts.
So let's see. Do we see any resemblance? Let's see. Do we see any resemblance?
A little bit.
I see it. I definitely see it.
I
see it. A couple more to go.
Yeah, and that's my second daughter, third child. That's Kaylee, and she's I think there's another picture coming, a more current picture from this past year. So she just graduated Clemson University.
Oh, very nice. Congratulations.
Yeah, nice. Civil engineering and architecture, and she's gainfully employed. Her internship turned into a job, and she's in Greenville, South Carolina, working for a living.
Working for a living in a part-time
She's
chef.
adulting. And this is going back to Kelsey 2019, right before COVID. Right before COVID, she got recruited to come on the show Chop Sweets. And
nice.
It was season 1, episode 7, and she won. It was
nice.
It worked out really well, and she was able to take the winnings and open up her own bakery. And she has 2 bakeries, 2 locations.
Really?
What?
One in Augusta, Georgia, and one in Aiken, South Carolina. They're about 30 miles from each other. So she's
knocking it out of the park.
Cool entrepreneur. Cool. She went to Johnson Wales and got a baking and pastry degree and food service. She's got like 3 degrees, and she studied over in France.
That is so cool.
And She worked for you're talking about cooking and all that stuff. Now that's somebody that can cook. That girl right there. She's a woman. And she's great. But she worked for Daniel Boulud in the city. He's got that Daniel restaurant, the Michelin restaurant on.
He ain't lying.
65th and Park. So she interned under him and his head pastry chef. So yeah, she found it, just like we found the fire department. That was her thing since she was like 12, 13. She was like, that's what I want to do. And she knew.
Just had a passion for it. Yeah.
Serge, you did all right, kid. You did.
I did okay. We did okay. Yeah.
Right. You're a good fella.
They got a great mom too. So I mean, she's it was two of us.
A couple good oaks.
That's it. That's right. Good oaks.
It's cool to hear that she won and actually put the money to good use and started the business, because you hear them all. I watched that show Chopped, and they're like, "Oh, I want to start my own business," and you never know what happens. That's really cool to hear that she.
There was a lot of well, that was 2019. Then the show aired March of 2020. So it was like the week when they did the reset, when they shut the country. There was 2 weeks when they did the whole. So she was like, I'm like, hey, everyone's going to be home. You're going to get a lot of, and she got invited to come on other shows, Beat Bobby Flay and a couple other ones. And she's like, I can't keep going up there and doing that. And I have to run the business. And she turned some of them down, but I mean, that's her business. That's, she made the right decision, whatever her decision is, but she's an adult and she's doing great. So it's good stuff. Thank you for letting me brag. Thank you.
Yeah, no, listen, that's what we.
It's all about you, buddy.
Yeah.
What is there, before we get to the old school tip, is there was there anything that you wanted to touch on? I don't remember if there was anything else that you had that you wanted to discuss.
Check the little
go through your.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I had thought somebody was barbecuing.
It was barbecue. I was going to get me a cold pop.
Cold pop.
And I thought somebody was
I said, and then
I said, Lord Jesus, there's a fire.
Then the smoke got me.
Lord Jesus, there's a fire. That was like the first meme in the like social media going around. Yeah, right.
Hide your kids, hide your wife, because they're raping up everybody.
Oh, that was freaking funny shit. All right, Serge.
Sorry, Serge.
Did you have anything else? We went off on a tangent there.
I mean, there's there was nothing really. I mean, there was a ton of fires, but I don't there was. I could cover them in the old school. I got like 3 things for the old school tips.
All right.
But nothing.
Listen, you've done good, as we say.
Yeah, man, you done good. Great career. Great
all right,
family.
let's. You ready, guys?
All right. Is it that time?
It's that time.
It's time for the old school tip of the day. Take it away, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, everybody kind of reinforces the same stuff with this, but one thing stood out when I first got on. We had a chief, when I was assigned to 76 Engine, we had Chief Kitson there, and Chief Kitson was pretty hard-nosed chief, but he held us accountable on multi-unit drills, and he says, start good habits now, when you get on a rig, fully dress out, but know your rig, know your compartments, know everything, where everything is. And because if you need it, you're not going to start, running around and looking at it. So it's kind of like rote. It's kind of, people have probably brought this up in the past, but it's really important. The quicker you start them, the habits, they'll last with you.
100%.
And then there's one, I don't know if anybody picked up on this, but I mentioned the guy earlier, Ray Nowith, and like he was a senior guy in 76 Engine. And when he was studying for lieutenant, I was on the job 1 or 2 years and he was studying, but he had this book he created called the Book of Colors and Numbers. And it was just like a, one of these salt and pepper books, and he divided the book up, and he would fill the whole book up with, all the different colors, like we got all the different, like we have colors for foam. We have colors for all the standpipes, for sprinklers and combo units, and green and this and red. And before you know it, you have a book filled with information. And he would just take that book when he would have the late watch and just go through the whole book cover to cover. So you use it for, you could even put, daily, weekly, monthly, and all of that stuff. And in a way, it's a tool for studying, for the next, or, and then you have a book that's got, you don't have to come down with all your study stuff when you're on watch. I would take the 12 by a lot and study. And this is just, you have one
It's
little
all your
note.
highlights.
Right,
As we would say. It's all your highlights.
Everything's there, but it's a cheat sheet, really.
Highlights.
Not a cheat sheet, but it's just everything condensed into there. You just pick the number 20, right? The number 20. We have 20 minutes, no headway in a fire, 20-foot circle with the sword. You can just keep going on and on and on and on and just expand.
Like
So the book of colors and numbers, make your own and just keep adding to it. And then, before you know it, you'll have a full book of good information. So
To pass down
my
to the next
kids, both of my daughters got this from my wife, similar to what you're saying. My oldest is out of college, but my youngest is in college now. They put everything on whatever they're studying. They put everything on. If I tell you how many index cards I have in my house,
Yep.
they just and they just flip through. They're like professional flippers. They're just going like this, and it's actually incredible how they have done so well. But it's because they write it down first, right? When you write it down, you look at it, you think it, and then like what you're saying, it was just our highlights, right? I mean, you studied, when you're studying, you got 30 books in a crate. And then you just start highlighting, and then before you know it, you're just flipping through highlights on your before you test.
Yeah, and that's just that's a great opportunity to do it. I mean, you could be sitting out in your backyard, your picnic table, whatever, or whatever. Or great spot is that watch, especially the 12 by. It's just, you got the place to yourself, and you're sitting there, and and then a lot of times I would oh wow, I could add that, I can add that there, or even add a whole new topic or something. And then you just keep improving on it and stuff. But it was just a good little, something quick, like you say, you're right, just to refresh and go through, and some of it,
awesome.
Firefighting procedures, tactics. Some of it can be also the administrative end.
Where the OV goes, where the roof goes, where whatever your fire department is, just have every taxpayer. Just where's the OV go? Where's those are basic things that where's the first line go? Whatever it is, you can never have that enough. Second nature to you. You got
to make sure you include the how to lift a bag from the money train too. Make sure you put that in there.
I have one. You want to see it? No.
Stuff it in your pants. All right, we got two
commercials.
Can I throw a quick shout out?
Yes, absolutely can.
Yeah, I've been following these firemen on Instagram and TikTok called Down the Hatch. They're cooking, they're throwing up, they're making meals, and they're filming everything, and it's really cool.
Oh man, they're stepping on Getting Hungry.
What are you doing?
Getting Hungry.
Now he's pissed off right now. He's just like, what the hell?
Getting Hungry is going to be totally different. Getting Hungry, we're going to be going to restaurants and critiquing them. These guys actually make meals, and they throw the recipes on there and stuff like that.
What's
Down the Hatch.
Down the Hatch.
Down the Hatch on TikTok or Instagram.
Where are they from? Do you know where they're from?
They're firemen. I think Sean Parisi is one of the guys that runs it.
I'll give you 55 seconds to look it up. I'm going to give you.
I'm not looking it up, but Down the Hatch. You guys can look it up.
It's like I'm not
that's it. Down the Hatch.
All right.
Good for you, Kenny. Good for you.
Old School Tip was brought to you by our friends from Collectors Club. Here we go.
We at the Gettin' Salty Experience are excited to announce the launch of the New York City Collectors Club, a brand new spin-off of the FD Collectors Club dedicated exclusively to New York City firehouses. Here's the deal. No more worrying about stopping by a firehouse when the crew's out on a run, and no more rolling the dice on questionable patches and coins off eBay. With this club, everything you receive is 100% authentic, straight from New York City firehouses. And the best part? A portion of every subscription goes directly to firefighter charities each month. Now, because you're a part of the Gettin' Salty podcast community, you'll get 50% off your first month. That means you can join for just $14.99. All you have to do is use the code Gettin' Salty at checkout. So if you're a collector looking for something real, meaningful, and straight from the source while giving back to New York City's best and bravest, the New York City Collectors Club is for you.
Excellent. And we got one more. I need you to think of a good health and safety tip while I play this, because I have one, but it might be a little cheesy. So think of something.
The First Responders Center for Excellence is a not-for-profit organization dedicated to protecting the lives and livelihoods of first responders. Their education and research initiatives aim to bring greater awareness and understanding to the challenges to the health, safety, and well-being of firefighters, EMS personnel, and other first responders too. They are an affiliate of the National Fallen Firefighter Foundation.
So what are we thinking? What are we thinking? Mine is
I'm thinking whatever you're thinking.
I'm thinking to throw out the because I'm in a situation right now is having a plan for retirement. We got to find ourselves with a couple of guys that may not plan for retirement, and then when they get here, it's too late. We talked about it just a little bit before about having a plan, or kind of having something to do, or a little hobby. Start a podcast, something to keep your mind going. Because when it ends, some people.
God, my cousin just called me today. I'm not kidding. Like a couple hours before the podcast, to say he's getting out. He works for the water department in New York, right by the Rock. And now he's up further. He used to work there, but he just said to me today, he called me and said, like, what do you do every day? Like, if you're not working, like, cause he doesn't plan on going to work, but I'm like, bro, you'll fill your days, but it's the first year is a little weird. Like it takes a while. Like, it definitely does.
The first year is fine for what I'm saying, because we had somebody who, I'm not going to say his name, but he went down a hole, and a couple of guys, just because they didn't. Some people just like, I got to get out of here, and they leave without a plan. And it's the first 6 months, 8 months, maybe even a year. You can, like you said, fill time.
Yeah.
Are we still live?
Yeah, we're still alive. We're still alive. So
yeah.
We'll close it out. Sorry, I was on a roll. What do you got?
Oh no.
Buy rehab.
Rent, finance, repeat.
Right. That's not that. So it's great. This is what I did. I started this right when I came on a job and bought shitty homes and renovated them and rented them out and kept them. So, but it was a little easy to do that, but you still,
Yeah, but you have a plan. You have something that's to keep you busy, right? That's the thing. That's.
But then what happens when you get to this age? You're like, they call you up and you're like, I ain't going to do that shit. Then you call somebody else to go do that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the birth theory. Yeah, well, that's where I'm at now. I'm
I don't want to
broken.
do that shit anymore. Yeah, exactly. Serge, it was awesome having you on the show, brother. I'm
appreciate it. Finally, great to meet you there. And
same here. I'm glad your brother allayed me to you.
I'll talk him into it. He's got some great stories.
We'll
he's got some really good stuff. He's been around. He was in the drone unit before the drone unit. The tactical unit, whatever it was, or whatever. He used to set the cameras up when he was on light duty for the command post.
Yeah.
He was in the drone unit.
Well, not the drone unit. It was like drone unit before the drone unit. It was the tactical command, whatever it was, where they set. They would set
the TAC unit. The TAC unit.
Yeah, whatever it was. Yeah,
that's a good gig.
Yeah, they would. Yeah,
that's a good gig.
Yeah. Everybody needs a gig. But
now it's like, now it's how do you get to the drone unit? That's I take that job right now and come back.
You can't crash drones like I did, so. They don't let you in the drone unit.
Like you're getting over the fire. Can you imagine that? You're over the fire, and the chief's like, "Well, what do you think about?"
I'm like,
I'm sure that drone isn't cheap if they sold it to the city.
No,
you know that, right?
Expensive.
Yeah.
All right, boys and girls. Serge, thank you again. Kenny D, love you, brother. Thank you. Make sure you check out the kitchen table. He's off on hiatus, I think, a week or two, but then he's going to be back.
Middle of August, I'll be back.
Yeah. All right, and Gonzo is, just raking it all in.
I'm here. I'm just doing whatever I can. Tuning in next week for the tactics, right? With Captain.
We're doing
Cirillo.
tactics with Captain Cirillo, Rescue One
Captain
retired.
Cirillo next week. So,
all right. Until then. See you at the big one, everybody.
Remember, it must be true if you heard it at the kitchen table.
Nice.
Oh, man. Remember, I don't always watch podcasts, but when I do, I prefer the Getting Salty experience. Stay salty, my friends. Everyone, have a good night. Thanks again, bye.